everybody. Welcome to Help We're Trying Here podcast. This is Rema Synergy, and this is our 12th episode. And if you're new to this, if you've never heard of us before, then you have to give us a like, a follow, so that you'll be notified of the next episode. And also don't forget to subscribe. We are on Spotify as well as YouTube. And before we go any further, let me just introduce my team here quickly. Ladies, just go ahead, one sentence. Let us know who you are. Let's start with Adelina.
Hi everyone. I think you are familiar with who I am by now. Okay, so my name is Adelina. I am the creative and digital person here, as well as the producer for the We're Trying Here podcast. So that's
Yes.
me.
And next we have Evelyn.
Thanks, Sylma. Hi, everyone. It's me again, Evelyn. I think I will address myself as special appearance guest to this podcast because I'm not always here every episode.
I'm here every episode, guys. Whether I'm in front of the camera or behind, I have no choice.
Neither do I.
So I am the special appearance guest, right?
Yeah, yes, you are. Adelina and I have no choice. But you are the special appearance, correct? So I have Adelina and Evelyn with me for this podcast. And the topic we have today is small acts, big impact, the magic of contribution. So this is based on the theme of giving and contribution. So we're going to touch on a little bit about what is the definition of giving, what is contribution, how can we contribute, is it just about money, and what about those who can't contribute much? What can you do, and how can we encourage each other? Okay, so we're going to dive into that. So let's start with the definition of giving. Evelyn, what do you understand by giving?
For me, giving, it's more like beyond material things, I would say. It's more to things like act of kindness, support, and understanding others' feeling. That's my understanding to that.
So kindness, understanding, and support.
Yep.
That's giving for you. Okay, what about Adelina?
I think giving comes in many forms. It's whatever contribution that you can provide, whether it's a skill, it's your talent. I mean, of course, the easiest one, well, easy if you have it, is money.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing everybody would think about when you think about giving or contributing. It's like, okay, here, money, or so. For me, it's more than that. There's also your skills. What are the things that you can do to help? Maybe I'll give an example, like for myself. um Say I can do graphics, right? So I can help propagate the message through graphics, the message of, or the cause of something, or whatever it is that I'm championing or I resonate with through graphic. So that is a contribution.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's not just about money. Like what you said just now, money is the easiest. If you have it, then go for it, right? There's also your expertise, there's also your time, and what, like Evelyn said, support, understanding, kindness is actually also giving. I've never thought of that term, kindness. I've always thought about your expertise, your time, your effort, money, but kindness. That's a good point, Evelyn. But what is the point of it though? Why?
Because we got nothing better to do. We gotta give.
Right. It's not like we have so much time. We have 28 hours. Everybody has 24 hours only, and with certain amount of budget every month, right? So how does it affect us? What does it do to you personally as the giver and the receiver? Maybe you can share, any of you ladies here can share your experience, whether you have been the giver or the receiver. How do you feel about it? Any thoughts from you, Evelyn?
I will share on both sides lah, for givers and what is another one? Taker, is it?
Receiver.
Receiver. Taker. When I use the word taker,
Give
you,
and take, is it? So
you will know what
giver
I'm
and
going to
take.
share later on towards the end
Okay.
of this. Okay. I've been experienced in both, I would say. So I will share as a receiver first. It's not in terms of any monetary thing. It's more like to support, like what I shared just now. That first thing that came into my mind is act of kindness and also support. I just cut the story into very short, is that, there are some moments that we really felt very hopeless and loss of direction. And just with a friend giving you support and listening to you, that will make a very big impact. You suddenly feel like, okay, there's someone listening to me. Actually, the world is not that bad. What is
True.
happening to me is not that bad. You just need to let go of what's your feeling inside. Maybe you just need someone to talk to, or maybe you just need to cry or shout it out. After that, you will feel very good. So that I have that experience before. Then after talking to that friend, even though that friend doesn't give me a lot of like any good advice or what, just being there, understanding, giving you support, sayang you like that, it's more than enough already for me. So as a giver, I've done a lot of that. So as a giver, but still I will emphasize on the act of kindness, support, and understanding. Yeah, because I think in terms of monetary wise or whatever, a lot of people can do it. But when you say giving act of kindness, I will use the word cultivating empathy. I
Wow.
don't think a lot of people can.
Evelyn spewing out the big words now.
I know, right?
The pressure is on.
ChatGPT, very good.
Have to sound smart after this.
Okay.
Cultivating empathy.
Yes.
What does it mean? Cultivating
So
empathy.
to me, it's like you have the ability and try to understand and share the feeling of others. You see, try to understand how that person is feeling and share the feeling of that person.
So it's something like putting yourself in their shoe.
Because sometimes when we tend to listen to people, or even sometimes you will feel that when you're trying to tell something to a person, seems like that person listening, giving their own opinion or their own understanding more than what you are trying to express, or how are you actually feeling. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Definitely, definitely.
It's more like a connection and interaction between both individuals when they are talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because I emphasize on kindness, support, and understanding, right?
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Cultivating empathy. Okay. So you have experience being a receiver and also the giver.
Yep.
Awesome. What about you, Adelina?
I think at the end of the day, everybody experienced both in whatever shape or form, or in some point in their life, right? Um, and I just want to touch a little bit on what Evelyn shared just now about acts of kindness. It's just every time she says acts of kindness in my head, is that
Love
non-profit,
language?
the non-profit, the Random Acts of
Ah,
Kindness, RAK. So they have an extensive library of content and actions, that you can take to practice random acts of kindness, and all that. So it keeps bringing me back to that. So I just thought I'd mention that, in the conversation, because there's so many things that we don't realize can be kindness. It's just the little things. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture, just like what Evelyn said. Everybody thinks, oh, need to, or just like the topic lah, right? It doesn't have to be something big, but kindness is something that we can practice every day. And that's pretty cool. Another one would be, I think, for me, in terms of receiving, yes, support, a lot of support received. For instance, when after my mother passed away, so we had a lot of support, and that was important to me because I was very close with my mom. So having that sudden void there, I think anyone who has been through that, I do not wish this upon anyone, but anyone who has been through that kind of loss, you really feel, or you really need that kind of support, and having that from the family, and also after my stepdad passed away, having that support from the family that says, we're here. What do you need? Those kind of simple things really makes the experience less heavy. As heavy as it was, it makes it less heavy because you don't feel like you're going through it alone. I think that's, at the end of the day, giving and contribution is also about presence, about someone being there for someone else, you know um and in terms of contribution, I think because Evelyn has highlighted the support and kindness, so I'll go on another arc, which is the your skills, which I mentioned earlier. Contributing your time, your skills. I do that a lot through my NGOs. And the Sylma and Evelyn knows this. I'm I don't know how I get myself in NGOs, but for me, the easiest way for me to contribute, especially when it's not monetary, is to be part of these NGOs.
Yep.
So these NGOs usually will have the people who have the money, or the people who knows how to get the money, so to get funding. And let them worry about the money portion, and what I can contribute. As someone who cannot contribute money as much, is the things that I can do, whether it's creating videos to deliver a message, whether it's creating the souvenir program for our events, or to provide training to our participants, depending on what the project is. So that way, it's a collective effort where you can be part of a team that is contributing to the community, or whether it's community at large, or a very specific um, group of people, or specific individuals. So for me, contributing, that was the best channel for me to do it, through NGOs. And in the process, of course, there's a lot of self-development. There's a lot of expansion of your not only experience, but your view of the world, the view of the community around. Sometimes when we're not in it, it's very difficult also to see that, oh, we have this problem, oh, this is an issue, or these are things that we can actually do, and not just wait for other people to do. We can be part of the doing as well. And I think that's the beauty of NGOs, for me. And it's also, I think, I before I pass it back to you, Silma, I just wanted to add, because I really think this is important, is that a lot of the times, especially when you're entrepreneurs, you don't see the value. A lot of entrepreneurs that I've observed and I've worked with do not see the value of NGOs. Either they go in and think, okay, I'm gonna get business for myself, and not so much on the giving part. It's rather, okay, here's an open to do that. Of course, there are other organizations where you can actually do that in NGOs, which are more business based. But there's so much value in joining NGOs, that I have found that when I talk about self-development, there's also professional development. Sylvia and I actually started training through NGOs, and we're like, hey, actually, through this contribution of knowledge sharing, which I'm very passionate about, knowledge sharing, then we, realizing that, okay, this is something that can be molded and developed further into a career, something that is a business. And also, I think I'll give another example recently, is one of my friends, or a social entrepreneur here in KK, who not only has a business, but also has that social aspect of giving. So, of course, that is the definition of social entrepreneurship, lah.
True.
And it has that giving, and I passed to her, knowing that I passed to her some of my used cooking oil, and I posted this on my social on my Instagram stories as well. And that being used in a community to create new products, whether it's candles or soaps. So there's just so many aspects of it, and in that process, for her, that business, not only does she get to help the community, but at the end of the day also to build up new skills, where the more you do, the more you learn. So then there's more knowledge, there's more insights that can be applied to the business side of things. So
True.
I just wanted to point that out.
Most of the time, you find out what you can do, and if you are able to do it through NGOs. That is the field where you're allowed to make mistakes. You can try out your ideas because you have volunteers to help you out with your ideas.
And we speak about this a lot also, outside of this podcast, and talk about, NGOs is the place where you can really try. Like you
Yeah,
said, you can really
yeah,
try. And if you
yeah.
make a mistake, that's where you get to see, oh, okay, let's improve on this later.
Correct,
And
yeah,
if you were to do the same thing in your business, then you would have a lot more at stake.
yeah.
So,
There's a lot of NGOs out there, guys, that you can definitely get yourselves involved in. And if you are concerned about membership fees, you look for those that has low membership fees, but you can contribute more. For example, contribute more not through money, but through your expertise and your time, your effort. Because by doing that, you'll be able to test yourself. You can expand your capabilities. You'll be able to you are put through things that you will not normally go through if it's just your routine life.
yes.
So that's the
Oh.
beauty of it.
And also, I think NGOs are the best place to learn people management skills,
Definitely.
because in a workplace, you can fire the person, but in an NGO, you
Correct.
have no choice. You have
Correct.
to, learn the skills to deal with them.
Another thing
Really different
also, when
people.
you are in NGOs, it's different from when you are in office where you have your superiors, your
You have a
juniors,
hierarchy,
right?
yeah.
Hierarchy. But in NGO, everybody is paying the same membership fee. Huh? So
You're the
everybody
same.
has a say. We're all the same, exactly. So it's also a unique way of seeing people, seeing how they behave outside of their workplace, and then you go like, oh, like this.
And also, you get to
Fun.
create a different level of relationship with the
Correct.
people.
Correct.
Whereas if you met them on a business scenario, it will be very, okay, business me, business you,
Yeah.
right? But when you meet in an NGO setting, you forge friendships
Correct.
that are a lot more influential and a lot stronger than those business connections.
Definitely. Definitely. Do you guys think that this giving and contributing has something to do with your age? Like, for example, did you feel that you were able to give in your teens, your 20s, now that we're still in our 20s? The denial. Now that we are in our 30s, right? Is there a difference? Do you feel more confident to contribute? Do you feel more confident to say, ha, I can do something about this. I'm able to contribute something in this department. Does age play a factor? What do you guys think? Evelyn.
I think we don't use the word age lah.
Then I use what?
We use the experience.
Experience.
Why so
Because
scared of age, Evelyn?
life, because Sylma is like, when she's trying to mentioning the age, right? Okay, never mind. We use another word. Rephrase. I will say, you know, throughout our life experience, things we have experiencing every day, daily, that's the thing that can build our, just now Sylma mentioned confident. Yeah. Not to say confident. I think we will say throughout the experience that we are going through every day. So it's a way that building us to, we learn to give more. You see, when we're trying to give something, especially like kind of act of kindness, there's nothing much we can give actually. There's nothing. We don't need any confidence on that. Maybe it's just some conversation going on. It's just the connection going on. But I think nothing to do with age for that part. It's more like, what have you been going through? What's your background? And you know, what is it in your daily life? And because some people even, okay, when Sylma wanted to talk about age, even their most senior people, you can also sometimes realize that not a very good listener, or yeah, okay, I better stop here. Otherwise,
Right. Okay, I get what you mean. So it has nothing to do with age, right? It has everything to do with your experience. Now, if it has nothing to do with age but experience, why is it that some people still feel afraid or hesitate to contribute, to give? When in fact, when you look at their experience, you go like, this is the right person to do it. What do you guys think is going through their mind? Why are they hesitating?
Different priorities.
Different priorities. Right.
none of my business, people
None
say.
of your
Yeah.
business, correct. Yeah. So this
Exactly.
goes back to my first question. I think my second question, why do we do it? Why do we contribute? Why do we give? Right? And then both of you were saying something like both the giver and the receiver has different experience or different what do you call this, feelings towards that, right? So if the mentality is this has nothing to do with me, this is not my priority, then why do we do it then?
But
We
you
are too
see,
What?
busybody.
sorry, Evelyn, go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm too busybody. We are too busybody.
we are too busy.
But you know, I think that the people who don't, who say, oh, they don't want to give, they don't want to contribute, you know, they're very hesitant. I feel like they just haven't found a cause that they resonate with, or a cause that means something to them for them to give or contribute, or they may not realize that they have given and contributed. So it could be either
Realization.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be that.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to answer a little bit about the age, the age thing. Evelyn says different based on experience. Maybe we could also reframe it to say different stages of life. So um because remember back in the days, you know, when you were kids and you see beggars and
Why
you feel
you
like,
go back in the days? What? How
because
many
times
back?
now are very different. Not to say we are
True.
old or
It's
anything,
true.
but times now is very different. So now we see beggars on the street, we walk past because it could be a syndicate. Whereas
Mm.
back then, when we see, you know, people begging on the street, we're like, "Mommy, mommy, do you have 50 cents? Do you have one
Mm.
ringgit or something like that?" Some form, even if in your pocket you probably have like some form of money and you want to give. So that's also, you know, that childhood giving in that sense. And then when you're in school, at least in my experience, they have, you know, clubs like Club Pencinta Alam. So you give, you know, there's also a channel there, or even Pandu Putri, which cultivates that whole giving and contribution, um, I guess, aspect of life there.
Mm.
So that there are channels, regardless of whatever age or stage of your life. There are various channels that whatever you have, or whether it's money or skills or talent or whatnot, or knowledge, there are avenues for it. And then especially now, like, so that one was back in the day. So now there's a lot of giving in terms of knowledge sharing. You go on
True.
social media, you go on websites, the amount of giving and contribution opportunities is exponentially higher than what it used to be.
Correct. Definitely correct. Yeah. And I think for me personally, when I give, I feel good about myself. It's a selfish thing for me. Giving is a selfish thing for me because I feel good about myself. And when I feel good about myself, I feel more confident. So that's why I give. That's why I contribute.
You give because you're selfish.
Exactly. That's funny, right? It
But
sounds funny.
but actually it makes sense because
Yeah,
our brain is sort of wired for what's in it for me.
correct. Exactly.
So the
Our
science
brain.
is there to
Yeah,
back that up, that we give, but there's always like what's in it for me, whether it's satisfaction of having helped someone, or it's satisfaction that, oh, okay, I am able to do my CSR,
yeah,
things like that. Whatever the motivation is, the
correct.
brain is definitely wired to ask what's in it for me, what is the
Yeah,
reward that I'm getting out of it, whether it's monetary, whether it's also a sense of satisfaction, a sense of fulfillment, sense of
yeah.
purpose.
Hmm.
So yeah.
At
The-
the same time, also, I feel grateful to be able to give because you know how it feels to be the receiver. Sometimes being the receiver is really humbling.
it's
Really humbling.
exactly, and receiving is also not something that comes easy for
Oh no,
everybody.
it doesn't come easy for me as well. No. I tell people it's okay. When I give to you, you don't have to feel indebted to me. Huh? But then I cannot tell that to myself. I cannot tell myself, it's okay, Sylma. That person wants to help you, let them help you. Cannot. The brain go like, hiya, you have failed in life, you have not done this, you have not done that. Very difficult to be receiver. Right?
Then you be taker lah, like what I said.
A bit what's the difference? You also oh, you did say that you were gonna connect it somewhere, right? About being the taker. What is it? In my mind,
Oh.
when people say taker, right, I remember undertaker.
Nothing to do with
That one
undertaker.
different way,
Yeah.
different.
It's just, I think it's also about, like Adelina said,
Mm,
stages of life, and also what I just shared is about experience. I think why the word taker comes out from my brain instead of receiver. The difference is there. Taker to me is like people just take you for so granted. That is taker. Receiver means people receive with gratitude.
right.
So the word taker comes out from my mouth, from my brain. The first thing it's just that you just finished mentioning it, but I cannot receive the word receiver. So
Got
it's
it.
I ran through the question you sent to us. So you want us to share, right? As what is
The one
the
industry secret. Cannot share
Oh.
good question one.
Never mind. It's okay.
It's okay. It's already the 12th episode. You guys know us quite well by now.
It's not
To be
true.
fair, the questions are there just like as a guideline, but most
Yeah.
of this, 100% of this is unscripted.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
gosh.
just a point there only, but all the answers come out from our own.
Yeah.
You
So
see?
I get what you mean. The difference between taker and receiver. So taker is people taking you for granted, right? And then receiver is with gratitude. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. I can see the difference.
That's a
Definitely.
good point, though. That's
Yeah.
a
It
good
is.
point.
It is. I thought you were gonna
I was, but I thought that you wanted to say
go ahead.
something that I might be saying.
Go. Go. Go.
No, but that brings to a point that when do you how do you give and contribute
Mm.
and balance the fact that you are not being taken advantage of, like
I
when you
feel.
give
I.
so much and then people sort of it becomes an expectation. Oh,
We,
never mind, let's go to that person to give. I mean,
we can do another podcast on that because that is like an entire thing on its own, right?
so something to ponder,
I
guys.
know exactly.
It's not easy to explain to you when I say I cut it short.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So we have covered what is giving, what is contributing. Yeah, we also have covered the feelings of being a giver and a receiver. We have covered the whys of it, and we also covered about our own experiences, our stages in life, right? Does it affect? Do giving and contributing comes from different stages of life? Does it give you more confidence when you have more experience? Personally, I think yes, because with more experience, you are able to understand better yourself, number one, and your capabilities and how you can give, be it money, experience, expertise, uh, even network, right? When you're able to connect people, that is also a form of giving,
Mm.
contribution, right? You being the bridge of things.
Mm.
I do a lot of that, and I never viewed it as contributing. But now that we are talking about this, I think it is. You're giving someone like a lifeline. Talk to this person. This person will be able to help you to do this. Contributing. Huh? Yes, definitely.
Yes, yes.
And for people who are hesitant to contribute, do you guys have anything to say to them? Maybe someone amongst our listeners hesitating whether they should or should not and don't feel confident about it. Do you guys have any advice for them? Yes, Adelina?
Why suddenly advice, Adelina?
Because you unmute. Later I will ask Evelyn also. Don't worry.
Didn't realize that unconsciously, unconsciously unmuted. I think
Oh,
advice.
actually, guys, hang on, yeah. Actually, guys, you have seen us sometimes with different backgrounds. So, just for your knowledge, if you see us with this background, that means we are doing it online, Zoom. If it's a different background, like real background, that means it's somewhere physical. Ah, okay, okay, yes, Adelina.
If the surrounding is not black, it's if we're
True.
using virtual backgrounds, then we're on Zoom. Yeah, I think advice would be to okay. So babysitting, for instance, is also contributing with
Contribute.
your time.
Yes.
Yes, you're helping a family member. You're also in the process adding to your own experience, your own memories. So that is the one of the simplest forms of doing that. Of course, if you do not have younger children in your family, then I think the easiest way is to log on to randomactsofkindness.org, I believe, or just search random acts of kindness. And there are
Mm-hmm.
many suggestions there on what you can do, just small steps on what you can do at home, at work, in school, and things like that, without having to give money if that is something that you are not able to do now. So there are, maybe get a taste of it first. What is giving, and expanding the definition for you of what giving is. That would be my advice.
Okay. So expanding the definition of giving for you. So
Mhm.
that will make you feel maybe make you want to contribute or give,
And
right?
have
That's what
more
you're saying.
avenues, and you can see more
More
avenues
evidence.
where you can contribute.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I like that. What about you, Evelyn? Any advice for our hesitant givers and contributors? Okay, English or English? Over to you,
I
Evelyn.
won't say it's advice. I won't say it. I'm giving an advice lah.
Mm,
It's like when you say that maybe there are our listeners who are hesitant.
mm,
It's not that they're hesitant. Maybe they are actually doing small things,
correct.
right? But they didn't realize. For example, when you're holding the lift, the door open for someone, it's also giving, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
When you open a door, maybe you're going to a shopping mall, you enter the door and then you're opening up for someone behind you. It's also a giving. I think some people, they might misunderstand thinking that giving and contributing must be something very big, must do charity, give a lot of money, things. No, even small thing in life, right? Even if you're working in office, You're helping your colleague with small, small thing. Just pick up a paper from the photocopy machine and pass it to the table. It's also giving, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because you're taking and you're giving.
You pass it to your busybody lah. Yeah. So I said, actually, like Sylma also mentioned just now, just the small, small things in life, but you never realize that actually you're doing something, you're giving, contributing as well.
That's a good point, because the reason being that is a good point is we go through life. Our life is quite fast paced, right? We every hour there's something to do. Every hour there's something to do. So by the end of the day, you don't really realize what you have done actually for the whole day. You just know you're tired, right? So I think this is where, if you're not into journaling, maybe just jotting down in your phone, in your notes there in the phone, right? 3 things that you feel grateful for, or 3 things that makes you feel good about the day. So once you are filling that out, right? Because you need to see for your brain to understand and for your heart to feel.
Yeah.
So once you see it being written down and you're reading it, you go like, huh, I did give that paper from Evelyn to Adelina just now.
Even if it's not 3 things, even
Exactly.
one thing that you can jot down. So like every day, what is the one thing today that I did, or that can also,
Definitely.
it
And then you will
helps the
see,
brain to
yeah. And
to
then you will
attach
see
it to something
7
good.
days, right? 7 days of those one thing. 7, and then it goes to how many weeks, and it goes to how many months. In a year, you'll be able to see, I have done so much. I have given so much. I have contributed so much. I am good. So whenever you're feeling down, have a look at it. You're not as bad as you think you are. It's always easy to say, I'm not a good person. I haven't done much. But when you
Yeah.
have it all written down, you go like, I am a good person. I have done much. And what is so wrong about acknowledging that part of you? Yeah. So I think we have covered quite a lot about giving and contribution. We've covered about what it is, why we do it, and also how to do it. Also, Adelina has shared about going to randomsactofkindness.org. Is that it? Maybe
Yeah,
.com?
randomactsofkindness.org, I think,
.org.
ORG.
Okay, awesome. And Evelyn has reminded us that it doesn't have to be big. It can be opening list for people, giving something small things to people is already good. Okay, and then jotting it down, even if it's just one thing per day. In a year, you'll be able to see you have done so much. And what is so wrong about acknowledging the fact that you have done that much? Okay, so this is Rema Synergy, and our podcast is called Help We're Trying Here. This is our 12th episode. If this is your first time listening to us and you feel you want to say something, go ahead and comment, because we are also on YouTube and also Spotify. That means go ahead and follow us, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up and like, so that you'll be notified of the next episode. So my name is Sylma, and I have Adelina here and Evelyn. We are from Rema Synergy, and this is Help We're Trying Here. Bye! Until next episode.